Clinton facing political backlash tonight over what's being called her lack of transparency after revealing her previously undisclosed pneumonia diagnosis. This after weeks of the Clinton camp dismissing concerns about her health as conspiracy theories. Here's ABC's David Wright on how this will impact the election.
It's not just the fact that she stumbled, or worse, that makes this newsworthy. Consider the time and place. Ground Zero on the 15th anniversary of 9/11. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump both there to project strength and resolve after the worst terror attack ever on American soil. An attack that hit close to home for both of them. The world is watching. So for Clinton to abruptly leave early without explanation and then to appear to nearly collapse, that's bound to be a very big deal.
The Fox's alert on new questions tonight about Hillary Clinton's health.
Moments ago, because of some apparent medical episode.
I just didn't think it was going to be that big a deal.
Tonight, Clinton called into Anderson Cooper to clear things up.
There's a lot of folks who are very worried about you. How are you feeling?
Oh, thank you, Anderson. I'm feeling so much better, and obviously I should have gotten some rest sooner. I probably would have been better off if I'd just pulled down my schedule on Friday.
But the damage was done. After Clinton left Ground Zero, it took her aides 90 minutes to issue a statement that she felt overheated during the ceremony and decided to head over to her daughter Chelsea's Manhattan apartment. Less than an hour after that, she emerged, still in sunglasses, but all smiles, ignoring the reporters' questions as though nothing had happened.
How are you feeling, Secretary?
She even paused to hug a little girl who ran up to greet her. Then she cheerfully said her goodbyes and zoomed home for the rest of the day. 5 hours later, another statement, this time from her doctor, revealing that she was diagnosed Friday with pneumonia.
Now, knowing that she has pneumonia, should she be hugging that child in the street?
Yeah, there are so many different types of pneumonia. Some of them are contagious. Most of them are not.
Even so, today Senator Chuck Schumer, who stood next to her at Ground Zero, said he now has pneumonia. And the campaign said a number of staffers have been stricken too. The bug apparently going around. Clinton, now following her doctor's orders, cut back on her schedule. And tweeted tonight, like anyone who's ever been home sick from work, I'm just anxious to get back out there. See you on the trail soon.
Hello, everybody.
Today, Donald Trump appeared to take Clinton at her word.
But I just hope she gets well and gets back on the trail, and we'll be seeing her at the debate.
But for weeks now, his campaign has been sowing doubts about her physical stamina.
She doesn't have the strength or the stamina to make America great again, believe me.
Citing her persistent cough that flared up again a week ago.
Every time I think about Trump, I get allergic.
Today, given her campaign's shifting stories, some tough love from a fellow Democrat. Former Obama strategist David Axelrod tweeted, "Antibiotics can take care of pneumonia. What's the cure for an unhealthy penchant for privacy that repeatedly creates unnecessary problems?"
I think it's clear that the campaign did not handle it well. The fallout has been all those questions about her transparency, about her honesty, about her trustworthiness.
The good news for Clinton is that the health scare has taken the focus off a comment she made Friday night at a fundraiser.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
You cannot run for president if you have such contempt in your heart for the American voter, and she does.
But it's the health care issue now taking center stage, and not in the policy sense. Clinton has a history of being less than forthcoming on this issue. In 2012, when she was Secretary of State, Clinton fainted at home while suffering from a stomach bug, banging her head and suffering what aides first described as a minor concussion. Months later, at a Benghazi hearing, reporters noticed she was wearing Fresnel prism glasses, glasses designed to correct double vision. Only then did her aides revise their earlier disclosure, admitting that the concussion was much more serious than they had previously admitted. Speaking with Diane Sawyer in 2014, Clinton denied any lasting damage.
So no lingering effects.
No lingering effects.
Of any kind.
No. Nope.
But Republicans have had a field day. GOP strategist Karl Rove among the first to suggest that Clinton had suffered some sort of traumatic brain injury.
This will be an issue in the 2016 races, whether she likes it or not.
We came, we saw, he died.
Others have taken it even further.
What on earth could be the reason behind Hillary Clinton's bizarre behavior in recent weeks?
This viral video, for instance, suggests everything from seizures to STDs.
Hillary on the verge of a mental breakdown due to stress.
I think the armchair diagnosis, looking at a video and saying, oh, well, does this mean there's a mental illness here? Does this mean that the person has a seizure disorder? Does they have a neurological problem? I think that's just nuts. But it's not going to stop people from doing it.
Neither candidate has released full results from a physical. Both put out short notes from their doctors, and both now promise a more detailed disclosure sometime later this week.
Personally, as a voter, I'd like to know that a candidate is overall fit to be president, that they don't have a condition that will impair their ability to carry out that job. As a medical professional, I know that there are conditions people could have that will not have any bearing on that they may not want to share with the public. I think that's people's right to keep that information private.
There's a rich history of presidential candidates concealing significant medical problems. Most Americans had no idea FDR was confined to a wheelchair thanks to a complicit press corps who agreed to play down his disability from polio. JFK suffered from Addison's disease, a condition that can have a serious impact on the body's response to stress. And of course, Ronald Reagan's Alzheimer's did not become public knowledge until well after he left office.
These are things that may have affected the elections. Should the public have known? I don't know.
I suppose it makes vice presidential vetting that much more important.
It does make that very important.
Hillary Clinton's the most qualified person to run for president.
Tonight, Tim Kaine prayed for Clinton's speedy recovery. But the questions about her health are all the more serious because of the larger narrative about her lack of transparency.
These questions about Hillary Clinton's health and stamina were on the dark reaches of the conspiracy theory internet, and now is front and center in the campaign.
Ironically, Hillary Clinton has been talking for years about stumbling.
When you're knocked down, get right back up.
In fact, stumbling and getting back up again goes to the heart of what she says would make her a good president.
It's not whether you get knocked down that matters, it's whether you get back up.
After this episode, that challenge is now suddenly literal. I'm David Wright for Nightline in New York.